Hello there ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new tutorial here on my channel on Mountain Blade 2. In this episode I'm going to teach you how to siege any castle, what you need to pay attention to in order to have a successful siege. Alright, tip number 1. Make sure you have at least tier 3 to tier 4 troop before you start any siege. But this also depends on how many troops do you have. As per example, I have right here 263 troops. Depending on how many defenders are in the castles, you can just press Alt on the castle and you'll see exactly the troops type, and you can double check and see how powerful they are, what tier do they have. But just to be safe, tier 3 and tier 4 troops before you start any siege. Tip number 2. Make sure you have at least 150 troops of those. This is a very volatile tip. Why I'm saying that is just because with 150 troops, you can outtake 150 to 200 militia. If there is a lot of defenders in the castles, then 150 troops might not be enough for you, even though they are tier 3 or tier 4. Tip number 3, make sure, and that's just preferable for me, make sure you have troops to be recruited when you siege a castle. So what you usually do when you start the siege of the castle, and then before you start this siege and before you start heading into sieging the castle, just recruit your prisoners in order for you to have more soldiers available right there and then. Because yes, you see what's gonna happen is that you'll have too many troops, but it doesn't matter because they will die in the battle anyways, and you can just take them out after that. So you'll have extra troops for sieging. Tip number 4, and I'll explain exactly the way that you want to start the siege depending if you are part of an army or not. So you have case number 1, where you are just by yourself and you don't have any armies in the back to cover you up, it's just you and your party. That's the first way that you can start the siege. The second way to start the siege is for you to create an army. The second thing that you want to do, if you are part of a kingdom, as I'm here, Battania, you just want to create an army and ask for parties to join you. However, this is gonna cost you a lot of influence points. And if you don't have influence points in the beginning, well, that's gonna be tough. The third thing that you can do will be for you to create as many parties as you can. You can just use your family members or your companions in order for you to create a new party. If you are part of a kingdom and you have them as a different party, you can just ask them to join you with the soldiers that they have. And so they don't cost influence points. They literally cost 0 influence points. But pay attention because it's gonna cost you a lot more to keep more parties in the game. As per example, for me it costs me about 2500 dinars every day to keep this party running. Just imagine having them in the world as well. It's gonna be so costly. So if you wanna do this, make sure you have enough coins. So these are the three ways that you can start a siege. Now, tip number 5, make sure you have enough food. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. As you see here, I have 27 days, they have 17 days. That's good. You need to outtake them, because when they will be running out of food, their garrison will start perishing. And so you'll only be left to deal with militia. In 17 days, garrison will be out. But pay attention, because if you're gonna be waiting for too long here, then what's gonna probably happen is that, as you see, I'm fighting here the Khuzaits land. The Khuzaits will make an army, or they will just gather here and attack me in order for them to stop me from sieging their castles. So keep an eye out, make sure you don't stay for too long, or if you want to take the risk, then more you're waiting, the bigger the risk is, because parties will start to charge you. Yep, as expected, they just gathered here and they created an army, and so they will just charge me. They were just sticking around, so we couldn't really have a successful siege for this one. Tip number 6, make sure you are making trebuchets and that you are breaking the walls right here before you start sieging them. And also make sure that you take out any fire catapults that you see right here. So it's gonna be a longer siege, but it's gonna be easier for you to just rush them. It's gonna take longer, but it's gonna be worth it. However, as I mentioned before, you're gonna be attacked, so this is exactly what's happening right now. Tip number 7, make sure you do not send troops or just do auto resolves on besieging castles. Make sure you will lead the party while the siege started, because due to the new update, the auto resolve for defenders will be increased with 30% in their advantage. So they'll have more advantage if you do auto resolve than if you just lead the parties by yourself. So make sure you do that. And this is gonna be it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and let me know what other tactics do you know about sieging a castle in Mountain Blade 2. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you, my name was Johnny, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye.